first up. We don't have any, so we're going to move into town meeting articles, and we're going to just go through try and handle it all in the reconciliation point, and we'll just start with number one. We'll take a look at it. If we want to change things, add things, let me know. We'll discuss it and go along. So, and then we'll go through the ATM and STM that way. And there are a couple of things we'll need to take up. I know we haven't voted 12 yet, and we have to change our motion on Article 60 as well. So don't let me lose track of that when we get there. So Article 1, town reports. Both boards are in agreement there. I don't know if anyone has any issues with that. Article 2, that's the, administration, revenue, and appropriation stuff, all related to the Community Preservation Committee. We voted that. There's no real challenge to that one as well. Same thing with Article 3, Community Preservation Debt Service.
You want to talk about text boxes as we go along?
Yes, if you do, yes.
Article 3.
Article 3, okay.
This article provides your appropriation to pay the costs of previously approved debt for renovations.
Oh, yeah.
And recreation court project. I don't think project should be a capitalized P.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then Article 4, Community Preservation Gravestone Restoration. That's, everything seems in line here. Everyone's agreeing.
Do we want to, again, some of my comments about making sure we have the overall context here, not just a quick blurb.
Yep.
So since this is an annual one, do we just want to point out that this is in an annual funding since we can find the date in there? So at least people have the overall context that it's a 5-year, 10-year kind of recurring thing versus seems familiar.
So you can say this article has been funded annually since whatever, once I find it?
Yep.
Okay, I have no problem with that. Any information is good information. Since, and I just need to come up with some dates.
And I could probably find that in the back here.
Now you're changing my spacing on me though, Mike. No biggie. All right. Article 5, and we'll find the date. I have it in here. I should highlight it in yellow just so I see it. Article 5, community preservation, creation, enhancement of trails. Everything looks pretty much the same there.
The first sentence presents its proposal with a request for CPA funding instead of CPA funding. These are all suggestions. You guys let me know whether they're reasonable or not.
Put it in, I don't have a problem with it. For CPA funding. An issue. Okay. Moving on, Article 6, 469A Trail and Bridge Project.
So, I'm not making this suggestion to try to tank this or put this in a negative light, but we should point out that this was brought forward last year and what the vote was. I don't want to bring it forward to put it in a negative light, but I think that piece is part of the overall picture of what took place here.
And actually, the first sentence should actually be struck out because that's actually like not pertinent to the article itself. It doesn't matter if it's been planned for a decade, we're just coming this forward.
I don't mind, we've been planning this thing for a year, now we're trying to come forward, and then, that kind of leads to, in 2023, we approved the engineering phase, and if you want to go back and, it might make more sense to approve X dollars, so they have an idea as to how much is already invested in this to date. It might only be 100, I'll have to go back and look at it. But in general, I think the statement is that last year's town meeting, they brought forward an article for $2 million that didn't get the required two-thirds vote. And you can put the whatever the overall vote count is in there, so they can see it was more than a majority, but not enough for the two-thirds.
Can we make the assumption that possibly the reason for the declination is because it was asking for town participation in the funding as opposed to
It's asking for borrowing, yeah.
borrowing. Yeah, exactly.
That's why it was. 2
Yes.
months. That's why it's failed.
Is
I
that
don't want
to
to
be-
speculate why it didn't get enough to
Okay.
pass. If you want to put in the article,
Or it's required, borrowing
They
requirements.
meet the two-thirds,
Yeah.
Okay, it
due
didn't
to
meet the
the
two-thirds.
borrowing ask or whatever. Yeah, I'm okay with
You're
that.
right, I guess we can't assume.
I just feel you kind of leave that piece of the history out. We're kind of not giving the overall picture, and
I agree with you, I agree.
I have just a question that came up as I was reading this, and Kevin, you may have an answer. If Larry was here, he probably would have an answer, because there's longevity involved, but it says planning stages for over a decade. But I think it was, what, about 3 or 4 years ago, we purchased the property and put in the parking lot?
That's why I think that sentence is just completely, should be taken out.
Right, but we purchased the property to build that parking lot.
Yeah,
One
that
of the
was,
reasons we purchased that property was because from Route 148, I think, all the way to where Friendly's used to be, the town did not have access to the riverfront on this side of the river. That's what I was led to believe. So that's where the Pink Haven Hotel used to be. We bought it to put the parking lot there. But one of the selling points was now we'll have access to the riverfront property that we did own, but before that, we didn't. So my question is, were they thinking about purchasing this property 10 years ago or more as a matter of getting access? Because without this property, we couldn't have built the bridge and connected it.
I think you still could have built the bridge, you just would not have had the parking in there. I think the parking lot was serving multiple purposes. It was also,
You're missing my point, Mike. The parking lot wasn't there, it was a hotel.
yeah, it was private property that
So
was,
when,
you know.
10 years ago or more, that hotel was still there. We didn't own that property. So that's, I'm just saying, I read that again, and that was misleading to me, because how could we be planning on doing it when the bridge coming across the river from the other side, we had no way to get to Route
so what
20
you're
at
saying
the
is,
time?
you're with Kevin, the first sentence is misleading, take it out?
Yeah,
I'm okay with that as well.
because it's
It just gets rid
misleading.
of all of that stuff.
Excuse my question. So we're going to rewrite these articles that we're doing right now?
No, not the articles, the explanation
The
box.
explanation boxes.
So, I'm willing to take those things tonight, incorporate it, because the plan is, like I've said to a couple people, I am going to try and put a rough draft of this together over the weekend. So next Thursday, you should have an entire draft of this, like it would go to, like it would be printed. And everyone's gonna read it and come back with additional comments. You know, if I miss something aesthetically, like, you know, the page break is in the wrong place or something, I wanna know that, because we wanna make sure it at least looks good when we deliver it. So we're gonna get another crack at this apple, but if
Okay.
you have something tonight, let's get it in there, so I can adjust the wording and all that, because it adds to page breaking questions, where
Okay.
things break and.
Then we review it again on our own prior to
Next
next
Thursday.
week, so we come in with any final
Yeah, any final
suggestions.
tweaks next
Okay.
Thursday. And then that following Monday, my plan is to send it to the printer.
Is there a reason not to put a total in our thing? Because right now, on the top, they break it out, so you don't have the total. You don't see the total of how much it actually costs. There's two totals, 700.
Yeah, no, he said he said
Yes.
voters approved, and I have in there, and then in funding. And this makes this whole thing like 1 point,
It's like 2 point something without, then the
Yeah,
500, right?
2.245
But then it
million.
never says that. We break it up, they were like 700, and then it looks like, no one ever sees, no one ever sees the total amount.
That's the way you have to word the articles, because of the.
But how about our comments, the total
people
will
can
be,
do
the
the
total will
math.
actually be,
yeah, we're in a 2.245, you said?
Yeah.
I can put that in that
I would say,
box,
because I think,
too.
they need to see what the total is, and then if they get to $500,000, then it drops it down.
I've got all the factoids in here, so I'll try and rewrite that section.
Just make it easy for the people to view it.
Yeah, to understand it. Article 7, Community Preservation Affordable Housing Trust. Really nothing changing there. Town budget, the only thing is, did I send you all with the line item budget? I can't remember, I think I did.
Yes.
All right, there's one like on page 9, there's an asterisk in there that basically says the fiscal year 26 salary figure reflects full salary, including those monies budgeted in the water and sewer articles. Because you remember prior to this year, part of the DPW director's salaries came out of the water article and out of the sewer article.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to highlight that that was a change.
So I got two items in here.
In the line item budget?
Yes.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
the easy one is, I know they get the budget and there's a total amount in there. I know our thing is there. I just wonder if we want to, put in the text box, so it's here, a part of the article, what the total amount of the budget is
Oh, yeah, why
that's
not?
being voted on, just so it's in one spot here. I know we have it in other places, but it makes it clear here. And then I know I brought it up at the last meeting I was here, well, I'm not sure where it landed. So as I look at that, and I look at the FY '26 approved, I always look at that as, at last year's town meeting, voters approved the following budget for FY '26. I know that department head budgets get moved, salaries get moved around, not through, and adjusted up, not only for their general wage increase, but their merit that they earned. So it looks like they're only getting a 2.5% raise, when really they're getting a 5 or 6% increase year over year in their overall salaries, which kind of looks like it's softening, what people are seeing there. And there seem to be, in that discussion, a couple other line items. So I'm trying to understand how we adjust line items in there and not reflect what got approved at last year's town meeting versus whatever else. Because I don't see how we otherwise change items in that budget without going back through another
But
vote.
as we okay, I thought that was, or as we discussed, I mean, we've always done it this way, and it's not, I don't see that as what the town meeting approved last year. I see that as what the town itself put into that budget line item, for lack of a better term, sell. So in the finance director's thing, we added whatever it was, 75,000, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, from the reserve fund into that.
Did you reduce the reserve fund number in that
We
budget?
didn't, no.
So how come you're moving one line item and not the other? If that's what you're doing, then go back and move the merit to 0 and change to something up there. So I don't follow what we're doing there, and I don't fully understand why we're adjusting some line items versus.
I think we even
versus
do
in
that
budget.
when we deal with capital items. So like if we adjust, if we need to buy, I don't know, a broken plow for the DPW, we'd adjust the DPW's purchase of services or purchases line item for the amount of money we transferred in from the reserve fund too.
And when we move money from purchase of services up into salaries, because we vote the total line item, do we
I don't think
reflect
you can
those
do that.
adjustments throughout?
I think you can stay within like the expenses in the salaries things, but I don't think you can move from one to the other. I don't think anyone can do
Can I
that.
ask Barbara?
Barbara, do you have an answer for that one?
You cannot move salaries into expenses or vice versa.
We had a cough in the middle of that. Try that again.
You can't move salaries into expenses or expenses into salaries. You
Right,
can
you can't
only
cross that
move
line.
Line-
You can move within
expenses,
them.
like
move
purchase of
within line items?
service, supplies.
No, you can move within the salaries items. So like the police department can move salaries all over the
But
place.
now within a different, yeah,
But you can't take the salaries numbers and bring it down into the expenses
the
side,
expenses, yep, got it, yep,
and vice versa.
makes sense.
Can I move between purchase of services and supplies?
I
Yes,
believe that's a yes, but Barbara, you can,
Okay.
yes, I said yes. Can you hear
Again,
me?
I saw that one in there, so, I don't want to pick on Barbara, but hers is, looks like, she got the stipend, she got this piece, it's a small little increase, not a big deal, but there really was a big change in that line item. It may happen in other line items. So to me, there's some movements going around, and I also hear, well, we took from reserve fund to fund this thing, but we didn't reduce the reserve fund line item to move them, show the money's got moved around.
the reserve fund every year. So you're saying in the fiscal year '26 number, the reserve fund should be whatever it was minus everything we transferred out?
Yes. Why,
I see what you're saying now. Okay, I didn't get that at first. I thought you were talking for fiscal year '27. I'm trying to find that little spreadsheet we had that where we are in the reserve fund. That's not it.
So that one caught my eye, because that was a big change this year, and as we were going through the line item budget. So it just begs the question for me, well, what other things changed in here? And, you know, how does it appear, and when you add dollars into last year's approval, and you look at this year's, it's like, oh, that's only a 2% increase, that's not a big deal, I'm not gonna raise it. But if it's a number that says, hey, that wasn't there last year, and it's a big number, looks like a big number now, or, you know, it really went up 8%, not 2%, from what we adjusted. Because the things that happen out, you know, during the year that, whatever, it just kind of seems like it throws off the message and what's going on in there. And those things would have been approved through a process, and we should be able to stand behind them and justify them to town meeting, but.
And kind of compare apples to apples, but then say, somehow in a description or something, this is what the difference is.
Yes.
Okay.
So that, if I could speak for a second,
Yeah, is there a way to turn you up?
Last week was so good.
Yeah, because we had it on that speaker, not the back one. I know how to change it. Give me 1 second, Barbara, while I change some.
Yeah, last week was so good.
Oh, that makes sense.
Where's the volume?
If you're an accountant.
All right, now try and speak if you don't mind.
To use
Oh, it
Larry's
says it's
expression,
disconnected. What happened?
use Larry's expression, it's a rounding error.
We're working to restore your connection. Okay.
Really.
The implication.
All right, it says it's connected. Can you try again?
Something,
Barbara?
can you hear me?
Yes, better, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's not.
thank you.
She's put to this.
So much for AI, huh?
Yeah.
We can't even get sound.
All right, you're on, Barbara.
Okay, so the merit and the reserve fund are two accounts that don't easily mesh with what you want to do. Now, I'm getting a lot of feedback, I'm sorry.
You're getting what?
Feedback?
Oh,
We've got two speakers going on there by any chance?
all right. Well, I can go back, but we don't, somehow.
Let me see what I can do here. Okay, so
No.
the reserve fund, if you only showed with money coming out, then the percentage of that fund year to year would not be accurate. Same thing with the merit. If we made the merit 0 because we moved it into other budgets, then every year when you were doing a comparison of the years, you were going to have 0 in merit, and then the new number in merit, which should show every year 100%
Is
increase.
it having feedback or is it working?
It's working, but it's scratching in there, not feedback.
Okay.
We're good here.
Okay, I think we're working.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Barbara.
Could you hear anything I just said?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so those are the two accounts that you have to be careful how you handle them.
Yep.
Again, the
And those-
merit, it's always understood that the merit is going to be moved to particular line items for those individuals that are on the merit-based pay schedule. So that's always going to move out. The only way that that's going to ever be fixed is to have merit awards be given prior to going to town meeting. And right now, that's not the way the merit is done. It's not awarded until sometime in June. And then the reserve fund, I don't see how you would want, I don't know how we would reflect that other than showing what was actually budgeted. And then when we do the actual expended, same thing. If we brought that down to 0 every year in that line, reserve fund would have to show that 0 was used, but we would want to track for tracking purposes how much we're using year over year.
So let me ask you this way. Other than those department head line items where the merit kind of gets rolled in there, are there any other line items where the amount shown in that column differs from what got voted at town meeting last year?
So if we had a special town meeting and, increased budgets, it would. Reserve fund transfers. So you approved, I believe, well, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back and
I
look
have
and
the
make sure we
numbers.
captured all the reserve fund transfers. There might have been, the one for the police cruiser, the blown engine definitely isn't in there because you did that one after the budget book was
Printed.
done.
Yeah, I have, right now, we spent $52,072.37 out of the reserve fund.
Yeah, so I mean,
150,927. Right now, as we speak.
So did we increase, so we moved money to the fire department, let's just say we went to the fire department, purchase of services for vehicle repair. Did we adjust the fire department purchase of service line item here to reflect that increase amount? Or do we?
no, that was the, are you talking about the police cruiser?
Anything in general?
How about the ones prior to you printed, Barbara? That's the way to do it. The
I'm sorry,
two
what?
that happened before you printed were library structural shoring for $92.50 and a DPW truck 11 exhaust manifold for $14.6. With that, so would the DPW purchase of services for the exhaust manifold be $14,600 higher than what was approved at town meeting last year? Because we transferred into it.
It should be. I need to confirm that.
That's how I thought
I
it
can
was.
I can go back and look at those before your next meeting.
Okay.
So,
We approved in December.
Yeah, the money that we improved in December.
Yeah, the truck.
Right. But where you should also see that is you should see, like, say it was $100,000 in last year's budget. Right now, it should say in there approved for last year $114,600 because we transferred.
so what I would say is, I wouldn't go moving any numbers in your spreadsheet based on my
I won't.
conversation.
Yeah.
They flow however they flow year to year. All I'm saying is, that caught my eye, it really stood out. And I'd like to better understand where these changes are during the year. So I'll kind of take this as a dig in, maybe another nice off-cycle discussion where we can kind of better understand how those numbers move from what got voted at town meeting a little bit better, and what the optics are, what we're showing people at town meeting this year.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, so
And Robert, I would say if Robin were here, the whole merit thing, I would just say it'd be a lot cleaner, more open, if maybe the, review process, this department head, you're gonna get 5% next year, this one gets 6, this one only gets 2, that happens as part of the budget cycle, so it kind of gets reflected in here, and instead of something being in the merit line items and then adjusted down below, we just see this salary went up X percent, and, and we can explain the overall piece of, here, part 2% of that is general wage increase, 3% for this person's merit, this one's only 2% for whatever reason. It's just clearer that way, I think, and an easier way to manage an overall payroll system or pay system there, so. But I know she's looking at that, so outside of the scope of tonight.
okay. So anything else with the line item budget? You
No,
just-
I'm set.
Okay, so we'll just adjust that article to put the total in it. Okay, Article 9, road construction, repairs, and maintenance. We're in agreement with that. Article 10, public access department.
Estimated budget for FY '27, not '26.
Ah, very good, thank you.
I apologize, I read these in detail, so I apologize to the rest
Which one
of
are
the
we,
committee members.
So Article 10, it says in bold above the expenditures, fiscal year 26, and that should say fiscal year 27.
excellent.
There we go. But this is the type of stuff we want to catch, so this is good. And Sturbridge Tourist Association. So we're good
In the
there.
box, the revenues derived, not derived with a D.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Derived from. All right, Article 12, Betterment Committee. Now, this is one we haven't acted on, and Mike asked us to hold till he was able to get back, so go ahead, Mike. Right,
Me?
yeah. You're the one who asked to hold this one, right?
Capital, Article 13.
Oh, okay, then I thought we voted this last week. I'm sorry, I got the wrong article. Didn't we not vote this last week when that
Yeah.
guy was here?
No, we voted.
I show that we voted.
Yeah, I thought we did too, 8-0. All right, I must have not filled it in. My bad. See, that's why we're doing this. Boring the crap out of everybody at home. This is what we need to catch. So I was voted 8-0. Sorry about that, Mike. I thought I left it blank because that's the one, but it's capital improvement.
Well, and then that summary box, or,
Going back to, the derived in that too?
yeah.
Yep, gotcha. Okay, Article 13, capital improvement
I
plan.
asked you to put it on here for tonight, so, where I'd like to go with this is a motion to reconsider this one, and then to go back and revote this with a recommendation to approve, to align with what the select board did on here, to approve this article as written with the sidewalk snowplow removed. This is one where we started going through these things, there was a policy, it was gonna cost $250,000 for the snowplow. We went forward with this one, and then the select board, went through the budget, looked at this and realized that, $250,000 expenditure for this policy seemed like a lot of money, so they didn't vote to put that in there, and we're gonna relook at the policy. Maybe we need this in the end, in which case we'll find a way to fund whatever piece of equipment is needed. But I don't think I'd wanna recommend that we include the expenditure of this in this article, unless it's truly needed as part of that policy there.
Voted to approve? Yeah, he's asking to reconsider so we can do it. But we'll just stay in the discussion of this whole thing. So, we met with them, they did this about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, somewhere in that time frame.
I don't think we've had it for anyway, a few weeks ago.
But that night, they said, we will take a look at this. They have not had 1 second of discussion on that policy since, in all the meetings I've watched.
We're coming into summer, they'll figure it out, who knows when they figure out how fall.
But this was brought forth as a piece of equipment that was needed to fulfill a policy that was set forth by the town. And everyone seemed to understand that this is a specialized piece of equipment that can be used for other purposes, but it happens to be thin enough that we can get it down Route 20 so we can get past all the telephone poles. So the department head, in good faith, brought this forward, said, I need this in order to fulfill the mandate I've been given by the Board of Selectmen.
And the select board said, you know what, I didn't realize that my mandate was gonna cost $250,000, I wanna go back and rethink my policy.
And they come back not, so
I don't think they have to do it in a week's time before town meeting. If they take it up after
they
town.
have a whole month to do it
They
right
take
now.
it up after town meeting, and they said, yep, we still want that to happen, then they're gonna have to realize that they don't have the equipment in hand, they're gonna have to give the department head time to come up with to purchase the equipment in order to carry it out, and there's gonna need to be some flexibility there versus, okay, now go out there and make it happen kind of thing.
Maybe I'm being too cynical about the whole thing, but I just don't see that happening.
No?
I don't, and then we're gonna hit the major first storm next year, and then someone's gonna complain, how come my sidewalks aren't plowed? Since, they've instructed the DPW to plow every sidewalk, whether it's public or private, up and down both sides.
So
of
I
the
would go one step further to say, those sidewalks aren't town property, they're part of the state property because they're state roadways. And the bylaw requires property owners to clear the sidewalks, not the town. So now we have a town policy where we're taking responsibility for clearing sidewalks that don't belong to us, And if we don't properly clear those, or we clear them and then something nice is over, somebody gets hurt, are we picking, does the policy lead to liability for us for taking on the responsibility for clearing those things? You know, that, I don't know what the answer is and whether that was given consideration as part of the policy. So, again, I don't want to be recommending we make a purchase here that's inconsistent with where they seem to be going here. And if they want to come back and say, yep, we want the policy, and we now decide we need it, come forward with a special town meeting, we'll make the purchase, we'll have the money in free cash because we'll spend it here.
So it's the expenditure of free cash for this that bothers you, not the point that we need it?
We need it to,
We need it to fulfill the mandate that is currently still in existence.
Well, did you ever see?
Board of Selectmen has ordered the DPW to plow the sidewalks
That's different.
from the triangle at 131 and 20 all the way to Route 148.
Okay, that's different in the policy though, right? What's, didn't he
Policy
say
says that
that?
building owners are supposed to plow, shovel the sidewalks in front of their property.
Yeah, exactly, that's the policy.
But there you go.
No, it's not.
No, it's,
That's what I have here.
The town's policy right now is the town clears the whole sidewalk.
So that's, when was that, when was that created?
You have to ask your.
so you might be looking at a bylaw, but that was the direction that they gave to the DPW as part of.
So verbally, they kind of changed the policy, is what we're saying.
They voted to change the policy. It's not a verbal. They took a vote and changed it.
and told DPW to plow.
There's a difference between a bylaw. The bylaw still requires the property owners to do it and so forth. The policy was, you know what, it's not really working. We don't want to be finding and knocking on doors and making people do that. It's easier, we just tell DPW, go ahead and clear sidewalks at our expense.
Right.
So that's the policy side versus what the bylaw requires.
Well, if the DPW has been instructed by
Select board.
the select board to do something, and they're following their directions,
And they're saying, we need this piece of equipment in order to
And
meet the
the-
mandate. Yeah.
yeah,
That's where it's at.
okay.
I'm still a little confused over the liability issue of it.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure
the
we're
answer to
clear on
that.
that. I don't think we have a clear interpretation of that.
But I don't know the liability actually factors into this decision. It might go around the hook, like Mike suggests, for anyone who gets hurt if we don't clean the sidewalk. Because it's the town implemented the policy and said the town will be responsible for cleaning it.
Route 20 is Main Street from Boston all the way to the west coast. It goes through,
Yeah, it's
it's
a lot of
Wales,
work.
it's Main Street through all kinds of towns.
Yeah.
Why, and why aren't we doing, Route 131?
Yeah, they
We do
do.
that too.
You do that too?
But they don't have, those sidewalks are slightly wider and they don't have the utility poles in the middle of them, so that the piece of equipment they have works, although she will tell you that the piece of equipment is more like a homeowner type thing, that she needs something a little bit sturdier, in the long run.
Well, I'm a property owner on a road that has sidewalks that I have to plow, that I have to shovel, but yet other parts of the town.
That's correct. That's the select board's policy.
The select board's decision.
No, I understand, I'm just trying to get it all,
Yeah.
make sure I understand it.
Yep.
And
You got
I-
it.
And I thought that $250,000 was a lot of money for a small.
And by the way, there's a correction that has to be made in the minutes, because I measured that, but I didn't walk it. I drove it. It's 2.5 miles of sidewalk. It's 2.5 miles of
It's a
sidewalk.
lot of sidewalk.
A lot of sidewalk, especially when you got this much sidewalk, then you have a pole this big, then you have this much sidewalk. So trying to get a front-end loader, or even a snowblower, you can't even get it with a snowball.
So I'll make a motion on that, and we'll see where it goes. I think we see both sides of the argument there. So Barbara, I have a question for my education. Looking at this article, we're looking for $1.4 million from free cash for the capital, I'm rounding, for the capital. And you list, say, a dozen items in here. So if this article approves, and let's say the thermal weed killer costs $10,000 more than what's shown in here, but the sprung building costs $10,000 less, you have the flexibility to pay more and for one item, less for another, as long as you stay within the overall total expenditure, correct?
No.
No. So each expenditure is capped at the dollar amount here. If one item costs a few dollars more than what's in here, you need to go back and get more money for that item, even if the other items cost less?
Correct.
Okay? And I can't, and I have to buy, so we have an SUV in here for $55,000. I have to buy an SUV. I can't buy something different for that because I decide I don't need the SUV, right?
Correct.
Descriptions in
Okay.
here.
Thank you.
Did she say that's correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Right, I thought you had more leniency within the line items, but each line item stands, that's the cap for each individual line item. Maybe in the end, if there are 10 items on this thing and you buy 8 of them in the first month, and you've got extra money left over for those 8 items, but 2 of them are long-term and it's going to carry over the next fiscal year, do you close out this article and the available extra funds when the last item is done, or do you close out each individual sub-item as you close it out during the year, back to free cash?
Not following you. Each individual, are you saying, does all the stuff in this capital budget have to be spent before we close anything out?
Yes.
No, we do it by item.
Okay, with that, I'll see where it goes, but for Article 13, I'll make a motion that we reconsider our recommendation for Article 13 of the annual town meeting warrant.
MH.
Could you repeat that?
He's making a motion to reconsider, so it would vacate our recommendation and we'll leave it open for us to entertain a new one.
All right.
So he's got, first, if anyone else is interested in seconding the
So
reconsideration.
if it's second and we vote to reconsider, then there needs to be a motion, and my motion then would be
We had the discussion.
to take the 250 out. If that fails, then someone's going to have to make a motion to, revote the article as written, and we end up where we are. If I don't get a second or enough people to reconsider it, then
It just dies.
It just,
Now, if
will stay the way it
I
is.
wasn't there, I wasn't here, I don't think, when we voted.
Yeah, but he made the motion and he was.
Yeah,
So you can second if you'd like to.
There were 7 of us here.
yeah, I second it.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to reconsider, which would vacate our 6-0 to 1 vote that approved it as written. Any further discussion? All those in favor of reconsideration? 3, and all those 4. Okay, all those opposed? All right, so 4-3 for reconsideration, so that passes. So that's gone. So, is it the, you haven't really answered my question. Is it the expenditure from free cash? You'd like to reserve free cash, and that's why you don't want to spend the 250?
I have no problem, if this was needed, whether I like the policy or not, and the direction, I don't have a problem.
It is,
using-
though. It's been mandated and it's been told it is
And
needed.
they've said they're gonna go back and relook at that, because they understand the
They
cost of
haven't
this
said
thing.
a
and they're
word
not
since they said they were
gonna
going to do that, and I don't see them doing it, or any discussion at all, until the next major snowstorm when it's going to hit them in the face.
And it doesn't need to be a major one, it could be a 3-incher where they're gonna
Yeah,
want the
well,
sidewalks
ice.
cleared.
Yeah.
So that they don't ice over, yes, I think they need to understand.
And every time they plow the street, they have to do the sidewalk again. Every time.
Yeah.
Snow
No,
from
I
the
know.
street ends up on the sidewalk.
So the argument is because I still, this is a must-have. And last week, the majority of this board voted for something that could be argued as an extravagance. And we went with a nice to have versus a must have. So,
But what he said, that we didn't vote for any particular item here, did we? We didn't say particularly the plow, the sidewalk plow, did we? We just said.
We discussed that at
Yeah, no,
length.
did we say just go back and come back with another recommendation for this whole article, or not?
And we did discuss it, because we discussed how the Board of Selectmen voted 3-0-1 to approve it, to remove it, because one member of the Board of Selectmen didn't
Read it.
want that 250 in there.
read it and was
So
like,
they had a
oh.
3-0-1 vote. And the zero, I think, was Mary Dowling, if I'm not mistaken, because she's the one that advocated to make sure we plowed all those
I
sidewalks.
just must have misheard. I didn't even specifically hear like, go back and for this sidewalk plow machine. I thought. come
Chase
back with the article, come
Kaminsky
back
Chase
with a
Kaminsky made a
recommendation.
motion to approve that.
To amend the article by removing the sidewalk plow machine
That
and
was the
otherwise
joint
approve the
meeting,
article as
that was the
written.
joint meeting we had with them. We had a joint meeting in this room, and that's when he brought it up. He wanted to remove the 250. So they
So
approved it 3-0-1.
to amend the article by removing sidewalk plow machine is what the select board,
Right.
Right.
That's what
Now,
Chase-
remember, it's our motion that goes to the floor. I mean, This is just
One that
a,
goes, not theirs.
so you
We'll go
can,
back and have this, in my mind, they go back to have discussion, they want to do that, and we say, we need that machine that wasn't included in the article, that you guys didn't support. Then we have a special town meeting, we use free cash to fund it, and we go from there, and hopefully it'll get here when it gets here.
okay, and forgive me if I'm slow, I'm just confused. Select board made the mandate to the DPW, we must shovel these sidewalks.
yes.
And then in this article, they voted to approve all capital items except the machine that is needed to,
Yes, and here's the,
Vote to remove that item.
and here's a slight hypocrisy about it too. And they voted to remove it, but they also voted to place this article on this warrant as it was written. They would have saw the $250,000 for that piece of equipment then, and they didn't remove it. It wasn't removed until we had the joint hearing. I mean,
it in there.
they left it in there, so.
To clarify what Kevin's saying, they put the articles in there. They could have removed it before the article was even placed for consideration. But they didn't have enough ahead of time to say
So
we shouldn't have that in there. Because
So
that's what, they created their own controversy.
okay, so basically DPW is following the directive that they need to shovel these, and DPW is saying this is a must-have in order to do this function.
Correct.
Should go back in.
Otherwise, they have to contract
Okay.
out.
Yes, and DPW is going to be held to that standard. I agree, she needs that piece of equipment at $250,000. It's an expensive policy, but that's what they want, that's where we go. But the discussion and their vote was, wait a second, I didn't realize our policy was gonna cost us $250,000 out of the budget. Let us take it out of this capital plan and let us go back at some point, not a week from now, maybe it'll be last minute, maybe it'll be after the last storm and she's struggling to get it there of, what's our policy, what are our expectations? Do we still want to, does it still make sense to spend that amount of money to do that policy? Or make adjustments to the policy where she can meet whatever's needed there, maybe with a different piece of equipment at a lower cost because they've established a lower standard. So
And this is all
their
speculation, Mike. It's speculating. They may do this and they may do that, and it may happen before winter, but it's all speculation.
This is all DPW.
We've got to deal with what we have in front of us. It's either up or down.
Okay.
Speculating on what they may or may not do. They should have pulled this out of the article when they put the article up for out of the warrant.
Well, they
Should
pulled it
never
out,
put in.
they pulled it out when they made their recommendation after the fact.
But they're the ones who put the article in.
After the fact.
That's fine.
Because one person didn't want it, yeah. That's all I'm saying. They never should have put it in there if they didn't want it in the first place. And now they drop it on us. It happens fairly often, it happens if it's dropped on finance to clean up,
Yeah.
get taken care of ahead of time, so anyway.
All right, so,
So I'll make a motion that we recommend the town meeting approve,
why don't you just make the same motion to the select board?
the same, Article 13, with the sidewalk plow machine, removed from the article.
I thought that's what you just said. I thought that was what we voted on.
No, that was reconsideration.
Our vote was to approve it as written with everything in there. Now we're reconsidering whether we want to live with that motion or a different motion.
So you would vote against this current motion. Right now, Mike has a first out there for a motion to amend the article by removing sidewalk plow machine and otherwise approve the article as written. You,
And the first one was reconciliation of the whole article.
reconsideration.
Reconsideration of the whole article.
already
That's what I
voted
said,
to
maybe said, no,
reconsider.
it's just only the sidewalk.
I'm
plow.
sorry.
No,
No, the first one,
That's what I
yeah,
said.
okay.
Anyway, okay.
We voted to reconsider, we've reconsidered, and now there's a new motion to approve it with the change.
So I have a first. Do I have a second for the new motion? All right, seeing, huh?
If you want to vote the.
Are we done- are we done-
Second my motion.
Are we done?
Consider the whole
We're
thing.
not done with anything yet. Hang on.
We have a motion to.
We have a first, is all we have. We don't have a motion yet. I'm looking for a second to the motion.
Yeah, we can.
So far, I haven't seen
Other
one.
things you want
And
to
that's as far as we're gonna go with Article 13.
You want to
No,
have to vote on it.
we have to vote on it.
If we vote on it, if someone
Okay,
seconds
because
it.
he's making a motion,
we're
just
gonna
with,
take-
just taking that out and making a motion for that, that's gonna be our.
He made the motion,
He made a motion.
so the 250 will be out if it passes. He needs a second to that now.
Okay, I'll make a second.
All right, Mr. McGlone seconds your motion all right, so this is to now vote to amend the article by removing sidewalk plow machine and otherwise approving the article as written, with the new total will then become $1,110,927. And I'm opposed to it on a couple of different things, because one is, this has been asked for, it meets the mandate that's been given to them, it's the piece of equipment they need to do it. And the other one is if it's because we want to conserve free cash, well, we just spent $140,000 last week for something that's a nice to have, wasn't even a requirement. And, the 110,000 that we already approved, it meets the requirement.
And this is expected to last 15 years or so, right?
Something
Is
along
what
that
they
idea.
said? Okay,
And
yeah.
it can be used for other
And it can be
purposes.
used everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a first and a second to amend this. Any further discussion or comments? All those in favor of the new motion? 2. All those opposed? 5. Okay, so the motion is rejected. So can I have a motion to approve the article as written?
I move.
All right, I got it. We'll go Bridget and MCP.
Doesn't go back to your first motion, does it?
No, it's going back to approve every
Yeah,
single
article is
line
written.
item, that's in there.
250's back in.
So now we're going to approve it as it's written. Any further,
That's the
Our
third
motion is
motion.
approve every single item that's in there.
It's a must-have.
yeah, any other questions or comments? All those in favor of this motion? Opposed? 4-3. All right,
Okay, I'm so confused.
Can you give me those two votes?
yeah, hang on 1 second, please. Let's just,
Hang on.
all right, now I got it. All right, so
It doesn't go back.
the reconsideration motion passed 4-3.
All right, so this,
The motion to amend the article to remove the sidewalk plow machine failed 2-5.
in the 5.
And then
hang on,
the
hang
new
on.
motion to approve the article as written passed 4-3. And Mike, and Ken were the negative votes.
And the negative votes for the first one were Bridget, MCP, Waddick, Smith, and Ken. Okay.
So all we managed to do is change the numbers of our vote, but that's okay.
That was Kevin, Jim, and Bridget. With the original first vote, negatives was that.
Bridget, MCP,
No, Jim and Kevin.
Kevin.
No, to reconsider?
Yeah. You were in
Motion
favor.
to reconsider was MCP, Kevin, and Jim, yes.
No, it wasn't. It was Bridget, Jim, and me. Yeah, because MCP was the second.
You're right.
Oh, no, she voted in favor, you went to.
I voted in favor. We've had a discussion. I'm clear-minded about it now. I understand.
I-
We had the discussion, though.
Implement shall 2 to 5.
2 to 5, 2 in favor, 5 against.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for the discussion.
Fair enough. All right. Moving on to capital stabilization, Article 14. Looking good there. OPEB,
Hang on.
Robert's rules.
Okay. I'm clear on it now, so, thank you.
clear as mud, right?
Well, it's just, it's, the way it was handled is very confusing, and the order in which it was,
What is, I don't know, that's the way you have to kind of do it.
no, but I understand, but it's just saying the article being presented the way it was, and then another body coming in and saying, now we're going to change it, just, it was confusing.
We voted to approve it. They're the ones that changed it,
Yes.
while it was sitting right there. It's like, they didn't even know we voted to approve it, because they didn't know we voted to approve it.
Okay,
Actually, I think they did, because if you remember, when we said that thing, I told them we voted to, and I'm the one who actually did the wording of the to amend that they took
Right.
on, adopted. So anyways, we got 14, 15, you had something for OPEB, Mike?
No, 14, I'm sorry.
Okay, back to capital stabilization.
I'm just gonna get picky, and this and the next stabilization. I wanna make sure the words align with the current, fiscal policy. And while the box in here says, the policy says we have to fund a minimum of 0.5%, the policy only says 0.5%. It doesn't include the minimum, so.
okay.
I think it is a minimum of 0.5%. I think everything in the policy is a minimum. Like when we say we want between 5 and 7.5% in certain balances, that's a minimum.
Yeah, if it's 8%, it's fine.
Yeah. I think all the policies are like at least.
The table in the back didn't say, in that case, minimum. Let me see what it says in the front.
Yeah, I'd have to dig it out. I know I have it here digitally. But you seem to all have it printed, so it's good.
I think sometimes they'll say minimum, sometimes they won't.
Barbara, is that accurate? A general statement is like policies, when they give a percent, it's usually that is the minimum amount, and not like the finite amount or maximum amount?
Yeah, so, I mean, I can understand, it probably doesn't in the policy say minimum, but yes, a policy is always, that's the low level, and if you needed to go higher or wanted to, you could. So we could fund, in my opinion, more than 0.5%, but we don't want to fund less.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it says each year 0.5% of tax revenue should be budgeted and placed into this capital stabilization fund. So it doesn't say a minimum. If you came back and said we're putting more than 0.5, does that violate this? No, it does not. But
So the way it's worded now, that says it.
Okay. Fair enough. OPEB then, is there a wording discussion with OPEB? I mean, that's pretty much the same verbiage we've used for years. All right, 16, stabilization fund transfer.
All right, here we go. So, we don't say much about this, and I think I would just take out of the policy what we say for what the stabilization fund is. It's the 5 to 7.5%, and what it's used for.
That's in the policy?
It's in the policy in the
All
back.
right, so let me put uses in here, and I will try and dig them out, because I know I had sent that to
We
everybody.
just provide a little bit more detail on some of the others, and this is kind of short, and I think if it's in a policy, let's just put the whole thing in here.
Yep, I highlighted, I'll put it in there, and we'll go from there. Article 17, revaluation interim adjustments, no differences there. 18, revolving spending limits. 19, water department. Article 20, Sewer Department. Article 21, Sewer Project Debt Betterments.
It's just, in the printing thing, sewer debt, you have the account with a semicolon, and then you go to another standalone paragraph there.
You know, because I think this is a spacing thing, because in prior years, there are multiple items listed here, excuse me. And this year, there's only one.
So,
I mean, I didn't write it that way, but we can try and clear it up.
oh, okay, that's right, this is the way it's posted all right, I wouldn't change that there.
Yeah.
I would have said, the or becomes a lowercase f, and it's just a continuation of the sentence like we do elsewhere, but if that's the way the article was printed in the warrant, we shouldn't screw with that one.
Right. I mean, we can correct typos and small adjustments here and there, but we can't do anything that would really change the purpose of the article.
Yep, I agree.
Article 22, Stormwater Compliance. Article 23, Water.
Hang on.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so the box, so, this is the stormwater compliance, we spend $100,000 a year. The box says, this funding is a mandatory program.
Required?
Requirement?
Maybe it says this funds a mandatory program, or the opening sentence becomes, the MS4 compliance program is a mandatory program of Mass DEP.
This funds a
I like this
mandatory
funds,
program of the Department of Environment involving.
You can say this article funds.
I think it is mandatory, because I remember talking about it with the DPW director last year.
You're just saying, you want to change the wording, this funds a mandatory program of the, okay.
As opposed to the funding is
This
a mandatory
funding
program.
is
Funding
a-
isn't a program.
Okay.
And then the last sentence, I don't know if that.
This is
will that
recurring,
change?
that's kind of, yeah, it repeats itself. If it's an annual cost, it is recurring, or if it's recurring, it's annual.
Yeah,
It's
this is
the
an
same
annual,
thing.
this is an annual cost.
Yeah.
Mandatory, no, actually, this is a recurring annual cost. Maybe just say to comply with the program. Okay, that's fine. All right, no,
This is
I'm
an
okay with the
annual.
last sentence.
Okay. Water Department pickup truck with plow. All right, Article 24.
Hang on, 20, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Article 24, water analysis treatment study, and then pilot plan for water treatment plant replacement. Got a spacing error there. All right.
All right.
Now, can I go back to Article 23 on the plow for a second?
23, okay.
Article 23.
Yeah.
Now, why doesn't the water department get that in their budget?
It is. The money's coming from the water reserve fund balance,
Oh, okay, okay,
not free cash.
okay.
You see how it's worded there, to see if the town will vote to appropriate from the water reserve fund balance? So that's within the water account itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I see it now.
there you go.
But it's a good point to highlight that. Did you have something for Article 24? Yeah, okay. So then 25, Cricket Drive Extension Water Main Replacement, Design and Construction.
Oh, I'm sorry, 24? All right, yes, I do have something 24.
Okay.
The above articles, one, I think, we in other case, we always say this
The
article, this article, or
Yeah,
the article is
change
fine.
that,
Third line, treatment plant was constructed in 1982 and is reaching, you have to answer at the end of its useful life.
Yeah.
And then the last sentence says, this is a priority in the asset management plan capitalized term. I don't,
That was that tie and bond thing. I think that was
Yeah,
an actual plan, but not everyone would know that.
which asset management plan? So I'm just wondering if a more specific reference to the Tigan bond plan,
Okay. This is a priority in the asset management plan is developed by Ty and Bond, or something like that?
Or is recommended by Tigan Bond, or, I don't know if it's the
Like
Tigan Bond
yeah.
plan, or it's the water and sewer department.
No, it's not a Ty and Bond was the engineer that helped to put the asset management plan together, but it's not their plan.
Right.
It's
So I would
based
just say
on
the water
the
water
town that
department's
were
asset management
identified.
plan. Right.
So I don't think it should reflect at all.
All right. You'll all get a chance to see it again. I just added water department's asset management plan. All right, I think the rest of that is good. Let me get out of that. All right. Article 25, Crooked Drive Extension, water main replacement, design and construction.
So at the end of the second line, the current water line is an undersized 1.25 copper. Approximately 400 feet of ductile iron pipe with a hydrant. I don't think those need to be capitalized terms. And then this is, the last sentence, this is for the design and construction. This article will fund the design and construction.
Okay, got that. Thank you.
There's a question, just a general question. Everything we do is the design, almost separate in construction. Don't we deal with larger organizations or companies that actually do all in one? They'll come in and actually build the whole project, tie it in together, and so it seems that we always take two steps, and maybe this is not what I'm looking to discuss, but it always seems we're doing two steps where it almost seems you can get a company in here to say you want the project and give us a quote on it based on what you see, and thank you very much, and they gotta do it by designing, they can't quote unless they design it, right? There's no way that could happen, but we always bring a design group in, and then we go out to these companies that do it for a living, that are experts in large, I mean, billions and billions of dollars, and say, here's the design, thank you very much, and that's what they do, that's what they do for a living.
It all tie into my day job. So what I'll sit here and say is,
What I do for day job.
if you want to, what you're suggesting is issue this as an EPC, engineering, procure, and construct, right? One firm does the whole thing, they do design, they buy the materials, they construct it, they hand it over to you in the end. We'd have to, and the way this article is written, that's an option that, staff has if they feel that's the best way to bid this thing, or they can break it up into small pieces. But usually for other projects, the library project, the senior center, buildings that we construct, if you were to go and try to write an article to do that, you better know how much money you're doing, because you don't want to, you need to have the full funding in there. So we typically go and say, we're going to do a little bit of study to figure out what the issue is and what the potential solutions are. We're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to do that. Now that we know that we want to, build a building, do whatever, we fund a design piece to get the details around it, to get a better sense for what the cost is going to be, so we can get the full funding for the construction piece of it. Otherwise, you're putting a number out there that we've seen a couple of times.
I actually want to juxtapose this one against the next two. This one puts both in the same article, so it's saying in the design and the construction should be $300,000 for this one. But in 26 and 27, we're designing the influent thing first, and then once we have that design, we're going to then construct it with Article 27.
Yep.
So it's split there.
Okay, so that's basically 25 is saying what I said, or already said it. Okay.
And I would say this one says, probably feel comfortable that cost covers design and construction for that amount of money. The other one says, we think these numbers are right, but let's set aside the money, and before we get into the full construction, just make sure the design says we've got enough money to go there and not have to supplement it.
Right.
But if we do have enough money, we're just gonna keep on going, because it's already been authorized.
Yep. 100%.
This, the last sentence in the box,
In Article 25 you're on?
26.
26 now, okay.
Oh, isn't that what we're on, the influence screen?
Yeah, we're not, well, now, I guess we're on influence screen design, that's 26. Okay,
Okay, the last sentence, this project was identified in the, do you want to say sewer
Sewer
departments? An
yeah.
asset instead of assist,
yeah.
asset management plan.
And then if you're in there, I would go up, in the middle of this, a sentence that says, "These screens are critical for proper operation of the treatment plant, comma, preventing damage," I would say, "and prevent damage," or "and preventing damage to downstream equipment."
All right. All right, Article 27, influence screen upgrade construction.
I think you have the same comments on the last one, and you have too many summaries in the starter box.
Oh, where that?
And that last sentence, before the estimated impact, the project was identified in the sewer department's asset.
Wait, hang on. I gotta look at this other one too. I'm sorry. All right, where was this in the last sentence here? This one? I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, it was similar to the one before, is that this project was identified in the, sewer department's asset management plan.
Okay. I'm going to take out the comment and say with an estimated impact. All right, but you'll see all this again. All right. Article 28, Route 20 pump station replacement, preliminary design. Article 29, PTU number 3, painting and rehabilitation.
Third line. The project will include coating all the equipment below the water line and repairing exterior concrete wall.
Well, no, it's all of that. It's painting below the water line, repairing exterior concrete wall, maybe it should be repairing the baffle wall, and along with the steel bridge support.
So my words are going to be water line, comma, and repairing the exterior concrete wall, comma, baffle wall, and steel bridge supports.
Nice, excellent. Okay, so, and repairing the exterior concrete wall.
Exterior concrete wall. The baffle wall. And the steel bridge supports? Okay.
Nice. Do the same thing here.
With an estimated.
Yeah. Okay. So then moving on to Article 30, tree removal and maintenance. Where I'm just,
There's too many spaces after et cetera.
et cetera. Where am I with, oh, okay.
Wait, where is it, center?
In the summary box, right?
Yeah, it's minor.
School bus, Article 31.
The font size changed in the box, but I'm not gonna,
Wait, no, I know, I want to correct those, I need to be consistent. That should be,
And somebody remind me, I should know, but I don't. Did we fund one in the operating budget and one here, or are we just funding one this year?
And then one last year.
One bus this year.
Only funding one.
One, did one, last year did one,
Okay.
right?
That's Times New Roman 12, it's the same size.
It just looks a little bit different.
It does, but I don't know why.
This is gonna be a gas engine bus, not an electric bus.
Correct.
Yes.
Are they going back to imposing a regulation back where it's gonna have to be electric in 2028?
I don't know.
I would say that's the case, it should be another one.
We still don't have the infrastructure for,
Yeah.
for,
I can find it's cheaper to buy the gas engine right now than it is to try and put the infrastructure in.
right.
So to make this clear for everybody, we're only buying one bus, not two, and whatever. My suggestion, we modify the last sentence. Right now, it says, in order to reduce the operating budget, we request that one bus be funded as a capital item. That kind of suggests that of the two buses, one more will be in the operating budget. So let's change it, I would suggest it
We are
goes,
funding.
in order to reduce the operating budget this year, only one bus will be purchased via, as a capital item via free cash.
Okay. Easy enough. All right, Article 32, town meeting law requirements. This is just to line up with the new town meeting dates.
Okay, so this is with the current April date.
Right.
Okay.
So there is a bylaw that specifies all these dates, that when the charter got changed, we haven't gone back yet to change the bylaw to reflect the dates to.
So this is the end of the annual town meeting, and so we'll go with that, we'll save it, we'll move to the special town meeting warrant. And that's version 3 as well. And I've been editing version 3, so unfortunately, I forgot to save it as version 4. Article 55.
Got the version 3s, and you can just rename the article, or rename your file.
Article 55 is all set, 56 is all set. Those numbers are coming. I do plan, so Barbara, is it safe for me to use a wild numbers as I write out the revenue size of this equation? That currently we're estimating the snow and ice removal deficit to be between $260,000 to $300,000 plus?
No, I'm gonna have to give you that number tomorrow, Kevin.
Oh, you have it? Great, perfect.
Well, I'm not gonna, I hope to have the number for you for your meeting next week,
Okay,
but I believe we're over 300,000 now.
that's what I thought I had heard, okay.
I don't have that with me.
No, that's fine. If, tomorrow I can just let everyone know, because I wanted to include it, because, last year we were talking about, trying to put a revenue discussion in there, and I wanted to include some of this in that. 300,000.
Oh, so you're looking for it in your report, not for the text box, correct?
Right, not for the text box, for the report part, exactly.
Okay, gotcha, yeah.
Article 56, unpaid bills. At this point, I'm not aware of any, so we're just going to keep that as recommendation. And as we get closer, we'll take care of them. Article 57, wastewater treatment plant clarifier. We'll have a number in about 12 days when they actually open the bids, and we'll be able to make that recommendation. Article 58, this is the outdoor program space, adding the 130,000, so totaling 240. I don't think any differences there. Article 59, Doughty Road Planning Services.
Second line of the box, through the development versus a development of a.
Are we on 59?
Yes,
Okay.
in the text box. So it would say an outside consultant to guide the town through the development of a master plan.
Okay.
I actually think the word recently there is really.
Okay.
Article 60. All right, so I need a motion to reconsider Article 60. And the reason why is the town has already adopted this set of Mass General laws in 1990. So we actually do not need to do anything to accept them because we already have. So all I need to do,
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
we do not need this article because the town has already voted to accept these sections of Mass General law. And we did it in 1990.
Okay.
So we don't, so I just need a motion to reconsider so we can take no action on this. And then I'll break that next.
Motion to reconsider.
Okay.
Second.
So it's MC and Jim for reconsideration. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? 7-0. So now I would entertain a motion of no action for Article 60.
So moved.
Second.
Mike seconds, okay. JW, Mike McGlone.
Who's first?
Jim.
Jim W. and MM.
All right, any other questions or comments? All those in favor? 7-0, great.
And you'll
I'm
adjust,
going to put in the little box explaining that.
just out of curiosity, who caught that?
Barbara.
You're awesome.
I just need to put some lines in there so I remember to put in our explanation box.
Yeah, yeah, were you going to say then in the summary? This was,
I won't put it in the summary, it's going to be under our motion.
Under our
We're
motion.
Taking no action, explaining why we're
Okay.
taking no action. All right, Article 61, transfer of funds. This is to see if the town will, so this is already done, I don't know if there's anything in there.
So, second line,
Okay,
distributed to towns from the transportation infrastructure funds.
okay.
And you follow that sentence, earmarked to do the following, bridges and other transportation infrastructure. Then there's a ... and a quote. I don't know that,
where's the beginning of the
Because we're
quote?
not using, yeah, where's the beginning of the quote?
I don't think you needed, I think you just make it a period and get rid of the dots and the quotes, right? Because that's a complete sentence, and I think we're good.
Okay.
Then in order to use these funds, I think it's comma.
Comma.
Yeah, we
Appropriation
missed
must
a
be-
comma like that earlier that I added into.
Now, do we capitalize town meeting?
I do,
Okay, then,
I'm capitalizing it there.
okay.
All right, Article 62, storage tanks.
The STEP is just bold.
You want, what do you see? I took it out of bold.
Oh, you took it out? Okay.
I'm sorry,
I'm using
yeah,
an old version, that's fine.
my bad. Article 63, the moratorium.
Is your box big enough? The original version, the text was cut off in the end.
Oh, I have it now.
Okay.
On Article 63 we're talking about, or the other one?
63.
Yeah, no, I have it all now.
Okay.
It ends with public health, safety, and welfare.
Okay.
All right, so that gets us through this reconciliation portion of this. Thank you for your attention into detail. And again, I'll try and get it out so you guys can dig through it one more time. And so now that that's done, next thing, we have 2 sets of minutes. And that is, where are those, Kevin? The first set is March 19th.
Was I there for that one?
You were not.
That's what I thought.
Neither was Bridget, yeah.
The only suggestion I would have is under the Article 8, that second paragraph, the second sentence, it took me a few seconds to figure out what it was saying. The Tantascwa budget is 4.4 million, or 10% over the foundation requirement.
Yep. Doesn't need a comma there, it is 10% over. Oh, I see how you're doing it.
Yeah, I would suggest the Tantascwa budget is 25.9 million, which is 4.4 million, or 10%.
No, I think, no, he's trying to put in there, the 25.9 million is the foundation budget,
Oh, okay, okay.
and the number is higher.
Well, that's in the minutes?
Yeah.
I didn't get there.
We're on minutes now.
Hang on, I gotta pull them up.
Okay.
These are the minutes of 326 or 312?
19.
19.
Tantascwa's budget proposal.
I'm just going to dig back out the line item budget.
Very confusing with the Tantasco budget.
Right.
Sturbridge's share of the Tantasco
When did you
budget,
send us those minutes?
Burgess's,
Um,
and it's a lot of different.
Yeah.
Oh, crossover?
Um,
Oh,
Let me
come
see.
on, Kevin.
Half minutes, here we go.
Oh, you found them? Okay.
Oh, we say that the,
No, I got
the
217.
foundation budget of, like, start the sentence with that and then saying, I don't, am I reading too much
Maybe
into it?
take
Is it-
out the amount of the foundation budget, or just leave it at 10%.
I think I mean, I agree, he's just trying to, they're trying to say that we are funding over what we're required to fund by 10%.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
When did you send these minutes, Kevin? I'm trying to find the email.
Oh, okay, hang on. I thought I heard you say I found it, so that's why.
Found 217, February 17th.
This was sent by Mike on 3/31, and I resent it, so it's gotta
I
be
sent it to you, and then you sent it out
Okay,
to
the
people.
Tantascwa
like the same
budget.
day.
same day, yeah. So, yes,
331,
yeah,
okay, minutes, this is which meeting?
we are, this is
319.
19.
I'm there
Okay,
now.
the
So here's what it's,
Tantascwa budget is 10% over the foundation, or a total of, I don't know. I mean, I know what the meaning of it is, but when I first read it, I thought, oh, wait, it looks like that our
so why don't we take
Tantascwa.
out the 25 million? Because the first, what it says is the Tantascwa budget is 30,429,000.
Right,
Our share is 9,182,000.
over,
And what he's saying is the Tantascwa budget
Is
is
10% over.
4.4 million, or 10% over the foundation
Foundation
budget.
budget.
If we take the dollar amounts out, then maybe
It's a little clearer.
it's a little clearer for people, okay. Over the foundation budget, the state requires the district to spend, somebody can do
You
some
could
math,
put
but-
parentheses right there, after required to spend the $25 million number.
Okay, I can do it that way, yep.
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Because it kind of reads all congested in
Oh,
there.
wait, for whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put the dollar foundation.
And
budget.
Tantascwa budget, how you say, okay, so you're gonna say, then Tantascwa budget is,
4.4 million, or 10% over the foundation budget, but the $25 million amount in parentheses.
okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Thank you. I didn't have any other changes on that one.
I have one. I think it's
Okay.
page 4. It's under Article 58. It says, KS feels this project was coddled together. I think that should be
Cobbled.
cobbled with a B.
Two B's, yeah.
Yes.
Coddled, does that mean like hugged?
Yeah.
He was feeling affectionate. Let him move away.
It is, it's a warmer feeling.
I don't, do we want to use that word? I
That's the
think,
word I used.
Cobbled.
okay, no, that's
quote.
true.
I mean, I'm happy to be quoted using that word.
Okay.
Cobbled, yep.
Somebody
Good
took
catch,
offense
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
to say, these come a long way from when I used to do them, and all I used to do is put in Article 27, approval is written by LH and KS, voted 653, and that's all it said.
So there was a discussion with the member earlier of, you know, how come we don't transcribe these? I think town council will tell you, the less you put in minutes, the better. Just, what the actions were and what people relied on in doing that, and not a point counterpoint of what was in here. So I think Alyssa and I have been trying to come up with, if there's some discussion, we should reflect it in here and how to get the essence of it versus the transcription of what's going in.
I find these incredibly helpful. I really do. I think the level of detail is helpful to me.
Okay. So then can I get a motion to approve the March 19th minutes as amended?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, so MC and MH. I should really MCP, but okay. Everyone else has got 2, you've got 3.
I'm special.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of the amended minutes? Opposed and abstaining? There we go, 5-0 to 2. All right,
I
so,
will say, I do like the ones where there's discussion back and forth, and I got nothing in my notes other than some discussion and what the minutes are, and then I see her version of what took place, and it's like, oh, we
Yeah,
said
but-
that, okay.
Well, I take notes, but my notes are definitely not as thorough as this, so I appreciate this.
We have a rhythm going, Alyssa, and
Well, I think we come from very different, he and I, angles.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that really works.
okay, so let us move on to the minutes of March 26th, for which Mr. Hager was not here.
Okay,
That way you just know to abstain.
I have a few.
Okay, hang on. Let me see.
Actually, one correction I have too, do you mind if I just get in here?
Please go.
Just, it's Ken Harrington, and he's chairman of the Big Alum Lake Environmental Committee. I made sure to note that down, because he,
Which minutes are these? Is this-
March 26th.
Okay.
The Big Alum Lake
I gotta
Environmental
just find it, I wrote it on top of my copy of the
Upper Lake
minutes.
Association.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's under other guests, I just need to find my actual.
That's true, he
That's why I
wasn't
wrote
part of
down
the lake.
All right, he's Big Alum Lake Association Environmental Chair. That's his title.
environmental,
Big,
Alum Lake Association
Chair.
Environmental Chair.
right, okay.
okay.
Hang on, Big,
Because there might actually be a chairman of the Big Alum Lake Association, we might
Big
mistakenly step on.
Association
Environmental Chair.
Environmental Chair.
Okay, so
And it's Tim Harrington, not Ken.
Thank you.
it's what?
Tim,
Tim.
T-I-M.
So don't forget to change
The initials.
the
to whole thing.
initials throughout,
The initials have to be changed.
from, yeah,
KH.
from KH to TH.
And I'm sorry, MC, I walked on you there because I just happened to catch that and wanted to get it.
Hang on, give me one more second. Is he the one who's been working with the conservation agent, or is it somebody else?
Yeah.
It's 10.
EH.
It was like a $25,000 line item or something.
20.
Okay.
Okay, may I?
Yes, you
Go through.
may.
Okay. So, the first thing is just a suggestion, but under Article 55, snow and ice removal deficit, like the last sentence of the first paragraph, he noted that while the, I would say, actual figure for snow and ice removal is not final, he is aware it blah, blah, blah. Just, it reads, he noted that while the final figure for this is not final, so just actual, okay.
Could be is not known, is not yet known.
Article 57.
Yeah, I get that one.
Okay, so yeah, second half of the sentence, but that he recently learned the bid opening will be.
Will be, yes, I get
Okay.
that one too, yeah, will be. Okay, as explained, yeah.
This is payback for all my little nits on the boxes, okay? Thank you.
Okay, the second page, so it's under annual town, okay, Article 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth paragraph that starts with JW recounted. Okay, that a few years ago, South Pond, which is in Sturbridge, Brookfield and East Brookfield, had a similar problem and was able to pay for an alum treatment. My only question is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It is actually called an alum treatment.
I don't think the A needs to be capitalized. It's alum is the
Alum's the
chemical.
material
It's the-
that they-
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was because, yeah. Okay, so it's little a.
You little A.
Okay. Okay, next is, under discuss possible issues for your consideration items.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, first sentence is fine. The second sentence, this is just my mom being an English teacher. Okay, Ellen explained the objective of that section is to alert residents about coming events or issues of which residents should be aware. Never end a phrase or a sentence in a preposition. So instead of about which, it's of which residents should be aware.
I went to engineering school, it looked fine the way it was. So that's fine. I appreciate the,
It's correct.
And
Most
then,
sentence should ever end with of.
About which is correct.
well, there's a comment
but
after
it
that.
ended
keeps
with
on going.
of.
Oh, you don't need the of.
Right.
About which resident should be aware. You want to just drop the of.
Yeah.
That's all you
So
have.
I just put the of in front. Well,
Yep, that's fine.
Either way.
either way, pick of or about, but not, no of at the end.
Issues of which,
Okay. So the next paragraph, starting with KT said his recommendation, the last two phrases, okay, KS concurred with KT that there is not a lot of land for industries, comma, and industries,
maybe you should say for industries that help lower the tax rate.
Or you could say for industrial purposes in the industry, plus industries that help, I don't know.
Okay.
Or industrial land for industry that help lower the taxes, something along those effects. Right, that's what I'm trying to get, I
okay.
think.
Well, my suggestion is, okay, KS concurred with KT that there is not a lot of land for industries, comma, and industries help lower the residential tax rate.
The overall tax rate. And the reason why I don't want to do resident, because if they ever decided to split again, you know,
Okay,
it would be
so then
uneven. But
overall-
right now, it's equal, it's everybody's tax rate.
Okay, so then the overall, but, so industries help lower the overall, but there's an extra that in there.
I'm good with that.
I'm done.
Does anyone else have any comments related to the March 26th?
Well, it's extra credit Mike gave me, but I did not walk along Route 20.
Oh, oh, see,
No one would
I haven't,
possibly believe I would
no,
walk.
I have in my personal
I
notes
could
that
see you
walked
walking,
it.
it made sense. So where was that?
Far enough back. Huh?
It's, you know, one question, one note, I would just put page numbers on these to make it easier.
JW said he walked along the sidewalks on both sides of the
I
It's on the
thought
bottom
you
of
walked
page
too.
2.
That would have been.
Wait, JW said he,
Drove along
drove,
No,
I was wondering how you figured out it was like 2.5 miles.
Not along the sidewalks, right?
Said he
You weren't on the
drove,
sidewalks?
What's that?
You weren't on the sidewalks when you drove,
I
right?
don't think so.
All right.
I wouldn't remember that, I think.
drove the,
At least what it do.
drove the length of the sidewalks?
Drove,
Drove the length of Route 20.
or say you drove Route 20.
Drove,
From New Boston Road to Route 148.
Okay.
And back.
so JW said he drove Route 20 from blah, 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 blah.
You just- Yeah, Yep, good, got it, appreciate that. Good. There's
I
a-
should about 2.5
Well,
miles.
that's not as impressive. I thought you walked. I drive that all the time.
That was a different lifetime.
Okay.
Anything on Article 12, I mentioned that it is to, if he discussed or talked to other lakes or associations that might have similar problems prior to reinventing the wheel. I think he was, I don't know if he said he was or he wasn't, but I don't remember either. So rather than going out and immediately getting a consultant, is how many lakes do we have and how many lakes locally? I was at a little bar where 308 Lakeside is, across the street, you know. Anyway, I bumped into some people, they had their own property on the lake, they had the exact same problem. Interestingly enough, it was solved. Interestingly enough, which we didn't bring up here, is that, and this is not minutes, was they also have to maintain it. So once you figure out the problem is, you also gotta pay to maintain it. In their case, residents on the lake pays for a year. It's $100 a year per each house in a lake to make sure it's maintained. Because if you don't maintain it, it obviously goes back to where it was. So not only the issue of basically figuring out what it is, and maybe other lakes have experienced it, rather than reinventing it, but more importantly, once you solve it and fix it, somebody's got to pay for maintaining it every year.
Well, that's what we do.
Usually it's the lake association that does it.
Okay, yeah, in that case, that's what it was, yeah.
Okay. So can I have a motion to approve the amended minutes of March 26th?
So moved.
CP, do I have a second? Ken Talentino. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? All those opposed and abstaining? 6-0 to 1.
Who abstained?
Hey, Mike.
Of course.
All right.
Again, the question came up earlier, what happens to these when we're done? Either I'll take care of these, but I or Alyssa will send a copy down to the town clerk's office. She'll file it in her records and she'll post it on the website there.
Okay.
And none of us will probably ever go back and read them again, but there is a record stored that way.
Well, sometimes if you're looking for old minutes, that's the easiest way to get them.
On the website,
They're
yeah.
on the website.
Or call Kevin, I think he's got them for the last 20 years.
I got a lot of them.
I got the last 10.
So we just did the 26th?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so at this point,
And now the 19th?
we did the 19th and the 26th.
Did we,
Yeah,
We did the 19th.
did we vote on the
before
19th?
We did.
yes,
Yes, we did.
I'm tired, sorry.
5-0
to 2.
So
And you actually made the motion.
You made the motion, and 5 people supported it.
I'll take your word for it.
You'll read about it next week in the minutes.
Yeah, scratch that.
We're still waiting on the 12th and 16th, because those were the marathon ones. Those
Yeah.
are gonna be monsters. So, okay. All right. So that gets us through the meeting minutes. Next thing is new business. I don't know if anyone had any additional things they'd like me to incorporate for issues for your consideration section of our part of the report. So, okay. And then, I would have just signed those, but I've got Larry's and I've got your comments to them, and I'll incorporate them, like I said. I'll send it all out, everyone will read it, make sure it makes sense, numbers work out, all that type of stuff, because sometimes I get confused. So,
I know how you feel.
all right, old business? Nothing? Public access? Seeing none? Okay, I take a motion to adjourn at 8:39.
A second.
So Mike and MCP. Mike McGlone and, all those in favor of adjournment? Wow, that hand went up way fast.